Here to talk about another one, something a little bit different, another brand, another optic scope to talk about. Vector Optics here. These guys reached out to me and said, we like what you're doing, review one of our scopes. So here we go. This is Vector Optics. This is the Tauron 5-25x56 HD, they call this thing. It's the first focal plane scope. Who does an unboxing out at the farm on a windy day? Well, that would be me. So, set some things down so some things don't blow apart. Again, here is the optic that we are reviewing. And here it is. This is what comes in your box. This is part of the deal. This is part of what Vector Optics asked me to do. So we're going to go through everything that comes in the box here. Decent looking box. It's not overly manufactured. It's not super fancy. It's kind of a, I don't know, it's kind of a deal I gripe about a little bit when some of these companies put so much money into the box. But it looks like we've got a sunshade. It's kind of a nice little deal. I would consider this a precision optic, more lined up for target shooting than shooting at critters. But you can use them for both. You guys know that. All right, so what else we got in the package here? We got a little wrench. Let's set this right up here. So we got a little wrench. Another little wrench. Another little wrench. Lots of wrenches. And some, I don't know what this thing is. It's like some swag. It's like cleaning cloth or something. But anyway, there it is. What do we got in here? We got our, oh, there we go. A VIP lifetime warranty on this thing. That's good to know. And if you like it, you got a sticker to put on something that you want to put it on, right? You got your little user's manual, owner's manual. You got that. Windy day. What else we got in here? We got rings. Now this thing came with rings. Love them or hate them. It's kind of cool that it came with them. A lot of people tend to criticize the rings that come with an optic, but in our case, we're going to use these. We're going to mount it up. We're going to be mounting this up on a 6.5 Creedmoor, but let's take a look at the scope itself. Let's pull this thing out of here. You guys see me do this stuff one-handed all the time, from how I am being the most generalized person in the world making this stuff. So here it is. It's got the bikini caps on here that I like to just shoot them usually. But here we go. This is the Vector Optics. Look at this thing. It has got some heft to it. It's got a little bit of weight. Feels solid. This is one of their more premium offerings from Vector. Now, this scope is got the side focus, got the parallel here. We've got our magnification up to 25. This little guy comes off right here. I'm going to start moving this stuff around in a minute and let you guys see that, but I'm just kind of giving it the old spin around so you can see it, including, usually there's a sticker on here that says the place of manufacture. So if you don't like what that says and you can't handle it, go watch one of my other videos where I'm taking down deer or something. But we're going to review this scope because that's where most of them are made anyway. Tauron, I think I said that right, 5-25x56 HD. And this is the mill version. So let me set the camera down so I can move this thing around with my hands and let you guys get my first impression of the functional mechanical movements of this scope. All right, so let's start moving things around on this and see how things feel. We're going to go from one end to the next. I'm going to start with the ocular adjustment. I'm going to spin this thing all the way in. It does have a laser etching on everything that moves, so you know what you're moving. Smooth. Haven't found even a budget scope yet that most of the movements aren't smooth, so this isn't telling us a whole lot just yet. But the ocular adjustment is smooth, and does it do anything? Sure does. Reticle's coming in and out of focus like it should, so that's working. Magnification knob 5-25. There's no no binding. It's loosening up a little bit as I do this. I did have the box open before I started to make the video because I had to look at this thing, right? And I did play with it a little bit, but I didn't really kind of go through everything heavy duty and evaluate it like this. Smooth. I like it. It's not overly hard. Some of the optics that I really like and I promote, this can be kind of a bugger to turn. I don't think this even needs this thing on here to get a, you know, just a reasonable grip to get to turn, but this lever is nice. It's cold. It's probably going to tighten up, but it's about 80 degrees right now. The illumination deal on the side does come with a little wrench for this right here. That's one of the wrenches that I pulled out. You can see it's got a little notch in there to put the battery in it that it comes with. And the illumination goes all the way up to 6 levels on this thing. It's got an in-between to shut them all off. And looking at it, it's really bright out here today. I'll put this thing up to level 6 and look through it. The center of the reticle is all that is lighting up on this thing. Looks like out to, you know, maybe a half a mil to a mil or so. So not just the center dot. I'll put some stuff up here for you guys to see this, but the entire reticle is not lighting up, just that center cross on it there. Moving around the elevation. I let people hear that. They're not bang bang, but they're definitely not mush. I would lean towards the material inside the erector in here. That mechanism I think is metal based on kind of the sound notes that I'm getting and how they engage really, really well. I would have no problem, even with gloves on, telling if I'm going from one little click, click, click to another on this thing. The etching on this deal, you've got 2 rotations etched into it all the way up to, goes from 10 mils per rotation on it. The windage is lockable. Try to, there you go, pop. The windage one is lockable. Oh, does have a 0 stop mechanism up underneath there, so you can 0 stop this thing. I'm getting a little noise when I do that. Maybe. Yeah, I thought maybe it was a windage, but there we go. Got a little noise coming from it. Probably the 0 stop underneath, but we'll find out. Back to this thing, windage. Pop it, unlock it. Windage feels just like the elevation. You can hear it in there clicking around. No problems with that at all. All right, so here it is. Kind of a hefty, heavy scope. Satin matte black finish. Illumination. Side focus goes from 10 all the way on up to infinity. And does it actually do anything? Yeah, it does. Now again, these are just some loose observations before we mount this up. I do like this little etching right here. I run multiple optic brands, and believe it or not, some of these things on the elevation knob go this way to elevate, and some go this way. So there is a little difference. So you get a little reminder right there of which way to go. Everything moves well. The illumination, I will say, is a bit on the tight side, and the cap, you can tell me what that cap looks like right there. It looks like a top to a beer bottle. It's kind of hard to grab too. I feel like I'm spinning the cap off a beer bottle, and a little bit hard on my fingers with gloves, heavy winter gloves. I don't know if I'd even be turning that. I do like how it's got the off in between each of them. But everything moves around good. I'm going to get this thing mounted up on the rifle now so we can get a quick review of the one, well, maybe I guess general impressions if you're picking this up at the store. What's everybody wonder? How clear is the glass? What I'm not going to give you, sorry Vector Optics, or some of you guys that are watching this, you're going to have to rely on my narrative of how I explain the glass on this. So if you don't like that right now, head on over to somebody else's channel where they're going to show you shoot-through footage with the glass that does no justice to how the glass is, because you're going through other cameras and everything else. Anyway, I'm going to tell you what I think about this thing. So I'm going to get it mounted up. I've got a rifle over here. Going to get this thing mounted. Play around with the magnification, ocular adjustment, parallel, all these things. Tell you how they work and how clear this thing is out to distance. Same as before, I'm going to start out from the back end, work towards the front end, moving everything around while I'm looking through this thing. So let's check it out. I'm going to work on this reticle. See how she focuses up first? I'm just going to look up at the sky. So my eyeball does that, how I do it. All right, well, with my eyeball, I've got the ocular adjustment all the way in, but it is crisp and clear. Talking about the precision reticle on this thing, it has a nice reticle with a lot of holdovers. It appears, let's see, it's like we got everything out to a quarter on here as far as mil dots on it. And I'm sure there's sub-tensions for the width of the lines and all that in that handbook. But it looks like we've got, you know, a large array of numbers all the way down on her. Quarter mil dots. All right, so this thing adjusts well. Getting to the magnification, you know, I know I got 600 yards out here. I'm going to set this side focus to about 600 and pretty close. Now the glass clarity, glass is very clear, edge to edge. But what I'm noticing, there is a bit of a, maybe the outer 20% of the ring on the glass, it begins to distort a little bit. I'm going to dismiss that mostly because it's not where I'm aiming. But if I were using this for spotting purposes, the higher the magnification, when I crank her up to 25 is when I'm seeing that. And it begins to haze up just a little bit. The glass is very usable on this thing. The eye box is something we're talking about. Everybody's talking about the eye box, the eye box. It's pretty tight on this thing. Even at the lowered magnifications, if I don't seat my cheek right on there, any little movement, I'm coming out of that full, crisp, clear thing. Again, if I had this mounted on here and I spent a significant amount of time behind it, I'm just going to plop down. It's going to be there. Not a big deal. But it is something to be aware of. It seems to be cutting through the mirage pretty good. Again, 80 degrees today, sunny. I've got some wind out here moving around. I can see the mirage on it real well. It's cutting through the humidity. It looks like a clear day. I got a bit of haze in here. The magnification at 25 is substandard. Gotta put it out there. Really didn't think I was going to end up saying that, playing with this thing just for the last couple minutes. But at 25, I'm looking at a wood line 600 yards out, and you know, it could be some the mirage, but based on other optics in this price range, at 25, I consider this something I wouldn't use. Yeah, it's the glass is clear, but almost out of focus. It almost seems as if the side focus is not doing its job here. I mean, I have a ton of mirage out there that's impacting it. Let me move a little bit here. Yeah, I do think the majority of it is the mirage. I'm looking a little bit different direction right now. It's cleared it up at 25. But boy, it looks like I'm looking through water. It's that bad with some other optics in this range. I haven't had that much distortion from the mirage. Would I say the scope is usable? Yes. For the price range and what else is out there, boy, I'm questioning things a little bit. And I put this out there. I had high hopes for this thing too. Again, this thing didn't cost me a penny. And I got a scope here. I was planning on using this thing for what I do, but I really like the reticle. I like the clarity of that glass. I just wonder whether it's the day today. I'm trying to look different directions with this thing. See if I mean, it gets really crisp at that 10, 12 power, but above that, I begin to question it a little bit. The side focus does its job based on known distance that I'm trying to kind of focus it on here. Not even going to get to testing the accuracy of these turrets at this point. I'm going to get this thing to the range before I do that. Probably going to pull it off of this and put it on a rim fire and do that. Save a little cost of ammunition some. But this is the first impressions on this thing. And boy, this is a tough one. I wish I could get some very accurate shoot-through footage on this to explain what I'm trying to explain. I just know it wouldn't happen. That this glass, it is definitely bright. It's almost like it's too damn bright. Very bright. Low light conditions, this thing may do amazing. I just got a feeling that maybe the coatings that they have on this are struggling with the mirage to this. So, hey, this is the initial unboxing, unbiased review of this Vector Tauron 5-25x56. Initial impressions, I like the mechanical feel. I like the cosmetic look of everything on here. I like the clarity of the glass. However, I'm questioning the usability of the glass for some other more subjective features that glass come with. So, hey, thanks for checking in on this quick review. There will be a part 2 of this where I'm going to test out the turrets. I'm going to get this thing zeroed up and see how it tracks. And maybe on another day, I'm going to give you guys my second opinion on how this glass is on this thing out on the range. So check back in for part 2 on this one for now. So, hey, thanks for checking in. Get on out to the range. Keep on shooting.